Hi, welcome to Simply Scrapping. Today I'm doing a layout for Mixed Media Mayhem. I decided to join this new hop, or new to me hop, because me and mixed media don't really go together. So I want to push myself and do more of it, and then I'll get better at it. So I'm doing a voiceover because normally I don't, but this time I decided I would, and my hands are going to be doing crazy things and it's not going to match what I'm saying. So the mixed media we needed to include this time was sparkle, stamping, and a stencil. So the stencil is this one. It's an old one from Stampin' Up. It's a star. And the stamp set is from Kaiser Craft, an old one called Doodled Christmas or something like that. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't even see the name of it now. Doodled Christmas, something like that. Anyway, it's old. You won't be able to find it anywhere unless on a D-Stash site. And my sparkle is going to be the twinkling H2Os that I found in my stash. It's not really a sparkle, it's more a shimmer, but I'm sure I'll get away with it. But I do have a scalloped gold glitter piece, edge piece that I'm going to put on, which is definitely sparkle. Now these, what they call poinsettia flowers, are from Knitwit Collections. I'll have that linked below. She is a Canadian graphic designer who does digital downloads for scrappers and card makers, and they're really cool. This is my backing paper. It's from Stampin' Up, old one from Stampin' Up. And then I've got vanilla cardstock, and the piece of cardstock with the holly leaves I'm going to cut a band from, and that's going to go across the vanilla cardstock. The things on there that I thought were part of the paper are actually stickers my daughter's obviously put on. Was going to create a base page or something, copying Mum, and she never actually did any more to it. So, and the embellishments I have are all from my colour boxes of my red, green and metallics colour box. My sparkle I'm going to use, or my shimmer I'm going to use, is the H2Os with the stencil. Now, you're all probably screaming at me going, we know this is not going to work, but I don't know it's not going to work at this stage, and I think it's a brilliant idea. So I thought, well, what can go wrong? Well, as it turns out, a lot can go wrong. So I start in the top left corner because I roughly know what the design of the page is going to be like, or where the elements are going, as in where the photo's going, the band of paper's going. And I start in the top left, and ever so tempted to lift the stencil, but didn't. Did a little bit more and went, that's it, I have to lift this stencil, what's happening? Well, it was a right mess underneath, wasn't it? Because yes, it bled under the stencil. So I gave up on that idea and thought, well, let's just go back to the sponged ink through the stencil, and I'm sure that will work, because you really can't go wrong with that unless your stencil moves. So I'm just using real red ink from Stampin' Up, and don't waste the cardstock, just move it, turn it over and use the other side. So I have a newfound love for stenciling, and I think it's because I've learnt how to do it better. So when I started doing it, I used to go right to the edge of the stencil, so no matter what I sponged in a stencil, it always had like a square look to it. I've realised now, and you're all probably laughing at me, that you don't go right to the edge and you try and make your sponging not even, so it's not a straight line basically on the edge, and it gives a much better effect. And I also like how when you stencil, it sort of goes from darker in the middle to paler on the edge. Now I know that's because that's the way I stencil, and you can do, all really dark or all really light. And there's just so much you can do with stencils, and I have fallen heavily in love with them. So I have to try and remember to use them more often, I think, because I really love the effect. And I actually watched a video from someone the other day where she created the whole background of her layout just using a stencil in different colours, or sponging in different colours, and it was so effective and so nice. So yeah, I'm going to have to build up my stencil stash, I think, because I really, really like the look of it. So I'm getting a bit more heavy-handed because I've realised that, well, I don't want it too pale because everything else on the layout is going to be quite dark. So that is it. That is my stenciling, and we'll just ignore the back of the mess that I created on the back. It's not going to be seen. So I don't know, I was explaining something. Who knows what I was explaining? Because I've decided to do a voiceover, so I'm waving my hands around. That's the Italian blood in me. So I've stamped the holly and the baubles from that Kaisercraft stamp set, and they stamped really, really well. For an old stamp set that I've had in my stash for a long, long time, and I've never used it, I was so surprised with how it stamped. It was wonderful. So now I'm just going to fussy cut all these holly leaves and the berries. And no, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me cut them all out, but I do love fussy cutting. I find it really, really relaxing. And the trick is, if you're not a fussy cutter, is to move the paper, not the scissors. So you slowly close the scissors as you're moving the paper. And it's actually, I find it really, really relaxing. So yeah, I've got quite a few of those to cut out. And then once I cut all them out, I thought, well, while I'm fussy cutting, let's cut all these poinsettias out. And I know I don't need all these poinsettias or all those holly leaves and berries for this page, because that would be overkill. But what I do is, when I get a page of something that I'm stamping or something that I'm printing out to fussy cut, I just fill the page, because then I can put the extra embellishments in my colour boxes and I know I've got them for another layout. And that's why I love having my colour boxes, because they're full of all sorts of treasures. And every time I go diving for something in there, I just go, oh, look at this, I forgot I had this, and I can use this. Oh, I know what layout I can use this on, and it's just really, really handy. All right, so everything is cut out now. It's time to put this shimmer H2O, what are they? Twinkling H2Os on these holly leaves. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but it is really, really pretty. It is so, so pretty. It's coming out a lot deeper than I thought. I probably didn't water it down enough, but when I first played with them, I think I added too much water, and they were really, really pale, and you really couldn't see much shimmer. So I was scared, I think, to add too much water, because I didn't want to make them too light. But I'm just doing all the berries, and then I will go on to the leaves. And the green of the leaves comes out a lot darker than I wanted it, but it is what it is. And, you know, the page is done, and yeah, I've learnt with this colour I probably need to do it a lot lighter. And they dry really quick. I was really surprised. I don't know, did I just say that? I thought I just said that, but I don't know, maybe I didn't. Who knows? Yeah, so anyway, I'm not going to let you make you sit and watch all this painting of these leaves. We will come back. Okay, so you can see that shimmer on those holly leaves and berries. It is just so pretty. So now on to creating the layout. And I'm just putting some double-sided tape around the edge of this vanilla cardstock. And it's really quite simple. I probably should have cut this out, because you all know how to do this. But you live and learn. Then the border, not the border, the panel of the holly leaves I'm just popping on. Then I put the photo on. So if you have any comments about this format or anything like that, please let me know. I'm trying it, something, you know, something new, something different. Other people do the voiceovers and they make it look really easy, but I tell you what, this is hard. It is so much easier to fast forward and put music. So the heading I just stamped on a piece of vanilla cardstock, and then I found a die. It's an old one from Stampin' Up. I think it's retired. Scalloped contours dies to cut it out into that rectangle with the scalloped edges. Then I put on 2 pieces of green cardstock. They were actually labels, I think, or tags from a kit that I didn't make up. And where they joined, I just made sure I put that cluster down there of the poinsettia and the holly leaves, so that it covered where they joined and it looks like one big green piece. And the scalloped edge around the heading is a match for the scalloped gold bit that I put on there. So now I'm just making my clusters. I put a cream tag at the top under the poinsettia, at the top left corner above the photo, because I needed something cream because the title was on a big cream piece. And that red arrow that you see, that actually matches the back paper, which I didn't realise. But that has been in my stash for years. I just wanted to use it, so I pulled it out for the last couple of layouts, but it's never landed on the page. And this time it worked because it matched that backing paper. So I'm just adding the flowers, adding the poinsettias. Oh, sorry, they are the poinsettias, and the poinsettias and the holly leaves. Some of them I'm putting up on dimensionals so that they are raised and look a little bit different. It's not all just flat. I'm putting the arrow on dimensionals so that it is raised as well. What else? On the left hand side I have a cream tucking, or just a cream banner, because I needed that cream in a third place. So I've got the title, the tag at the top, and now I've got the bit on the left hand side. These gold banners, they're like a ribbon, I guess, 2 ribbon ends, gold stickers. I've had them for ages. I thought I have to make them work somehow. So that's just bringing in more gold than what I have on the scalloped sparkly bit. So I tucked them in a few different places as well. And I've also on the left hand side just had I think it was like a little tag envelope or something from in my stash, again from a kit that I didn't use. And I've just used that as a tucking piece on the left hand side, just to fill a gap basically, so that the bottom of that gold scallop didn't sort of just end and then there was nothing up until that top flower on the left hand side. So I just filled that in a little bit, and then just putting the last sticker on. I do come back in and do something to that heading, that title, but first I add gold bling to the center of each of the flowers, so that's even more sparkle, lots of sparkle. And then I sort of was deciding whether to use clear crystals or to keep going, like take the gold ones off and replace them with the clear crystals because they sparkled a lot more. But I went, no, I needed more gold on the page because I've got that gold scalloped piece. So I just continued with the gold in the middle of the flowers. And that cream tag and the banner piece on the left hand side, they both have a gold edge to them. So that is tying in that gold as well. And I don't know what I'm going to do now. I've walked away. Oh, that's right. I have decided that on that title, there's tiny little holly leaves and berries on some of those letters. So I'm going to bring back the sparkling H2Os and colour them in. And I gave the brush a really good clean and then realised, well, I didn't really need to because I'm about to dirty it. And the glue, no, the paint hadn't dried up yet. It still had a bit of moisture in it. So then I just went back in and coloured in the holly leaves and the berries. So that is my layout for the Mixed Media Mayhem. First time I've played along and I really enjoyed it. So like I said, mixed media and me don't really gel. I've struggled with it for a long time, and then I stopped doing it altogether because it just wasn't working. But now I'm taking a slightly different approach and thinking about it more, and it's sort of starting to make sense, and I'm starting to experiment more. So I'm going to look forward to these Mixed Media Mayhems every Friday. And the criteria this time was sparkle, stamping and stencil, and I've incorporated all those. So it was lots and lots of fun. Make sure you check out the playlist below in the description box for everyone else who's playing along as well. There's also a Facebook group which I will link as well, because if you're into mixed media and you want to have a go at these challenges, then you can, and you just post your layout in the album on the Facebook group. You don't have to make videos, you don't have to post on Instagram, you don't have to share anywhere. You can just post your layout in the Facebook group, and it's just a lot of fun. So if you've liked this video, give me the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. And please give me feedback on the voiceover. I would really, really appreciate it, because I don't know whether it's what people want. I normally put music over my videos, and some people don't like that. So some people like to have an explanation of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So I thought I'd give that a go. So if that's something you like, let me know. Something you don't like, let me know. If I talk too much, you can't understand me, I talk too fast, whatever. And you should see me now. I'm actually half Italian, so I'm talking with my hands. Not that you can see it, but it feels really funny. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a scrap happy day. Bye bye.